You've found the house, made the offer, completed the inspection, and are just waiting to close. But did you know there's still a handful of ways things could slide sideways if you're not careful with your finances before closing? Well, don't freak out. Instead, tune in because this podcast is called How to Mess Up a Mortgage.
Thanks for tuning in to the Realtor Moms Podcast. I'm Tasha.
And I'm Jamie. We're full-time realtors in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding areas, and admittedly average moms. This is how we sell homes.
And try to keep our kids alive. Hello, everyone. Today, Jamie and I are here, and we're talking about how to mess up a mortgage. Like the things you do not want to do.
Yeah, so this is a don't
This
podcast.
is a don't podcast. Do not do these things.
Right.
Under any circumstances without talking to your lender first.
Right. We're stepping a little bit out of our lane into mortgage finance right now because we know you love our podcast, so we want to give you all the advice that we can.
Exactly.
And we're telling you what not to do after you've applied for a mortgage.
Yeah. First one.
Take it away.
Don't deposit cash into any of your bank accounts.
Large cash.
Large cash amounts.
Right. If you have been stashing cash under your mattress, this is not the time.
If you have that cash under your mattress, talk to your mortgage lender on how to get that into your account in the proper way so you can use it as a down payment to purchase a home.
Exactly. Your lender
don't do anything without talking to your lender.
Right. Your lender needs to track your assets. They need to track any major changes in your financial situation. Maybe you've had a car posted on Facebook Marketplace for an eternity, and the day after you get a mortgage, somebody wants to buy it from you for $30,000 in cash. Good for you. We're not saying you can't sell it, but it needs to be explained. It needs to be tracked. That's all.
Exactly. So talk to your lender.
Yeah. Number 2, don't make any large purchases like a new car, new furniture. Don't put it on credit. That means the same thing. Yeah. Just because we say don't buy it also means don't finance it.
Don't finance it.
Don't change your situation.
Yeah, that's how you pull up to, that final walkthrough or closing in a new vehicle. Jamie and I are going to have a heart attack.
Yeah, you show up in a new vehicle to your home inspection.
That actually happened to me once. I pulled up to a final walkthrough. I'm like, oh no!
Yeah.
Here's a brand new pickup with the new,
dealer plates,
dealer
tags.
And I was like, so you got a new car?
Yeah.
Oh no! My boss got me a new car. This is my work vehicle. I'm like, oh thank God.
Or if they say, but I talked to lender, Tammy, whatever. I talked to them and cleared it with them. Great, fine. We are 100% okay with that. But major changes, major new money obligations is a major problem.
That can change your debt to income ratio, and that can cause a lot of problems. It can.
Let's talk about co-signing and doing loans with others.
You have a story on this one. Yeah, do not co-sign on anyone's loans for any reason in any capacity. Again, if something like this comes up, talk to your lender. But you please tell your story.
Well, this also goes for co-signing student loans.
Yes.
Or, loans that you forgot to mention to your mortgage so this goes back up to when you first applied for your mortgage. You have to mention anything that you co-signed on.
Yes.
And so it goes doubly for once you're in escrow or in between the time when you've wrote the offer and you're waiting to close. Don't be signing off on anything new. All loans, anything you put your name on, even if you know for certain that this person is good as gold and you're never going to have to make that payment, doesn't matter.
It still affects
on paper,
your financial situation on paper.
Yeah, on paper you're obligated
You
for it.
had someone at one point co-sign on their children's student loans, and it worked out very badly.
It did. So she unfortunately, didn't realize that co-signing on her, on her daughter's student loans would come back and have such a huge financial implication on her ability of how much money that she could finance. I mean, her daughter was going to school for something that was going to require a lot of schooling. These student loans were high, as they might be for anyone obtaining a really expensive degree. But it basically meant whatever she thought she was going to purchase.
It cut it down by like $150,000 or some crazy
more
amount.
Than that, like double that. Yeah, she, instead of buying the house that she thought she was going to retire in and entertain in, she had to get a condo for a little while.
Yep. Yeah. It changed her entire,
and that's
future.
okay. You know what I mean? Like, ultimately, it was worth the sacrifice to her. But we want you to know that co-signing on a loan is almost the same thing as taking out the entire obligation on your own. So don't do it while you're in contract either.
Make sure that whatever you're doing, that you just really are keeping all of these things in mind.
Yeah.
So
What's
the
next?
other thing is don't change bank accounts. Don't change your financial situation. Don't be changing accounts like that.
Right.
The same thing goes for don't be applying for any new credit.
Our
no
next
new
one.
credit cards. No new credit accounts. No new financed accounts like furniture or cars. Don't be changing anything like that. You need to really keep things for when you applied for your mortgage, you're keeping it the same as when you applied, unless you've talked with your lender and have had a conversation about maybe paying off this credit account or this account. Whatever the plan is that you come up with your lender, follow it.
Right. And along those same lines, also don't close any credit accounts. And I've had that, I've had a buyer who was confused by that. The lender said, oh yeah, you should go pay off Capital One. Just pay it off. So they did. They paid it off and they closed it. Well, some of your credit score is reliant upon the age of the credit accounts that you've had. And as soon as you close one, that number goes away. So that was like his longest standing credit account.
That
he
is
had
now
it for
closed.
like 12 years. Everything else was, 3-4 years old. Well, now he closed that account. So suddenly his credit history was only a couple of years old. Well, now you're a riskier buyer because they don't have that history that you've been a good creditor for 12 years. So just wrapping that whole portion up to say, don't change anything if you can help it. Again, without talking to your lender first, while you're in that in-between time.
Keep in mind, we're here to help you with buying, purchasing, selling properties, but your mortgage lender is there to assist with making sure that any change or anything that you're doing financially makes sense with the mortgage for the home you're buying.
Yep.
So
completely.
Food for thought.
And the last one that I have is don't change jobs.
Don't change jobs.
So, and here's my other 2 cents on this, because there's always like a caveat.
I had a situation like this where
so
I had someone who was getting paid. They were a truck driver, long haul truck driver, and they were getting paid. It was salary that then got changed to mileage. That created
so it's the same job, but a different pay style.
Different pay style, and basically then it showed that he had to like start over and had to have 2 years of how he was getting paid.
And that's the point that I was about to get to.
Yeah, it caused so many problems. It caused some problems, and it changed their entire situation.
Most of these lenders are going to need to have some history again on the type of income that you have. So making a significant change, or even if it's not a change, like Tasha was just saying, her buyer didn't even change the type of job he was doing.
It was just how he got paid.
His compensation arrangement was different. So, and again, not to say that if you are approached by your employer or a different employer with this fabulous opportunity, that you just have to turn it down. No. We just mean chat with your lender about how that could potentially impact your purchase. Because we don't want to see you lose your house, and all the process that you've made.
One situation, one change, or one thing that applies from this list.
Exactly. Some things just require a little additional explanation, and then you can proceed. But always check with your lender first.
Always check with the lender. We love you, lenders.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks so much for listening. If you liked what you hear, you can check out our library of tons more episodes on RealtorMomsPodcast.com. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or just about anywhere you listen to podcasts. And please never hesitate to reach out. We would love to be your realtors. This podcast is produced by Realtor Moms Podcast, Jamie R. Swenson and Tasha Barrett, Park Company Realtors, 4170 41st Avenue South, Fargo, North Dakota.